introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Abby West. I work in kids here at Church of the City.
What makes someone an effective speaker?
I think being an effective speaker has many different parts. One is knowing your audience. I talk to kids, which is really fun because kids, I get to do a lot of more fun stuff that they can't do, when you're speaking to adults. I think knowing your audience, I think knowing what your strengths are and your weaknesses, specifically your weaknesses, because you can be intentional about changing them. I sometimes, especially early on, I will talk too fast and people won't be able to listen to me. So now that I know that I talk too fast sometimes, I can be intentional about making sure I slow down. So I think sometimes knowing your strengths and weaknesses, knowing your audience, knowing who they are, and also when you have a topic that you're passionate about, you're excited about, it's easy to be effective.
What makes someone a good communicator?
I think that being a good listener, being a good student, being somebody who is studying and knows that whatever they're going to talk about, whatever they're going to try to communicate about, they know that they need to have all the information. They need to know everything there is to know. They need to listen to other people before they can go tell somebody else about something. So I think doing all your research, having all the information that you can have, going forward to something really prepared, being prepared both in the ways that we prepare, like you would for school, but also preparing your heart, getting ready to speak to people, asking God to come in and give you the right words.
What has helped you the most in your speaking ability?
I think a lot of it is that I have had some great opportunities that have been put in front of me to speak and to get better, and I've had a lot of people who can say, Miss Abby, slow down a little, or Miss Abby, try saying this. And sometimes it is literally memorizing what I have in front of me. Memorization makes it intentional, it makes it really clear. I don't have to worry about the stuff that I say, if it doesn't sound right or if it doesn't make sense, because I have it in front of me and on paper, it looks good, it makes sense, it's exactly what I want to portray to the audience. So if I memorize that, it makes me a much better communicator.
Have you modeled your speaking style after anyone?
I have several great role models of people, specifically because I talk to kids, and kids are the ones that I'm telling the stories to, and they're the ones I want to get the information to. And I think that when you speak to kids, it's a lot different than talking to grown-ups. It's so different, and knowing what kids like, and knowing how to speak to them and how to get their attention and how to get them engaged. I have learned a lot of that from many people, many different people who speak today. I have several specifics. Do you want names? You want to know them? Mr. Josh is great, Mr. Brad is great, Miss Diane has taught me a ton of things about how to speak to kids, how to communicate with kids. And I don't know if I modeled what I say after how they do it, but I've used the things that make them good communicators with kids to make myself, to put this into what I already do to make me a better communicator with kids.
How does being a Christian influence your communication and speaking?
Well, I think that it does in a huge way because, number one, all of the stuff that I get to share with kids is about walking with Jesus and about what Jesus did for us and all of that amazing stuff, which I'm actually genuinely 100% so excited about. So my faith is huge in everything I do because I want to share with these kids. I want them to know how excited Miss Abby is about these things, and I want them to know how awesome it is. Every story that we have, all of the Bible stories, all of the stuff that we know about Jesus, all of that stuff, I want them to know I want them to be excited about it. I want to share the excitement. So I think my faith is huge in the way that I share things. I also think it's huge because I know that God has given me, like I said, opportunities, but also a platform. Sometimes God opens up a place for you to speak, and He has opened one up for me and said, Abby, this is what I want you to do. I want you to share my love with these kids in this way. I want you to get up and I want you to use your mouth and use your words and use everything that I've given you to do this. And so sometimes it's like, well, God keeps presenting me these opportunities. I want to do a good job of it. I'm going to do my very best in everything I do, right? And I'm going to do it for God. So that includes every time I get up on stage, and even if I'm being silly or if I'm playing a game, really all of that is to engage kids, you know, and I feel like that I'm engaging the kids so that they know God's big love. So it's all linked back to my faith.
Thank you.